No, I knew where that was directed.
Ah, come on. You knew where that was directed. I heard it. I went forward that I had a shot answer. We're getting up here now.
Fathers, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great occasion to come back to Butlersbridge on such a great occasion. No matter where you go, you always like to come back to the bridge, as you see from this gathering here this evening. So you're all very welcome to this presentation of Father Aidan. And now I'll hand you over to Mr. Con Smith himself.
Hello. Hello. Make a presentation of Father Aidan and all the nice things that were said about his academic career. Well, I knew him from a very early age, from the time he was teen student at Dan Dare, Pilot of the Future. And that was the only break he ever took from his lessons, not like the rest of us. I suppose the results show. As everybody knows, he has always been a very popular man in the area, and I'm proud here this evening to bear that out in every one way. I suppose we all grew up together and spent most of our time here in this playground. There wasn't much else years ago other than a rip football. It wasn't always a very good one. But maybe with all these elephant gentlemen down in front of me, you know, it's very hard to keep up with them. And maybe you want to be safer looking up and there, but then one wouldn't have these cards that would be found wanting. But I would just get on with the show, I suppose, and present Father Aidan with this chalice and a carbon crystal lamp that the ladies selected for him. And all you good people paid for. Right. Radio. My God.
And I would like to call on Paddy McGowan to say a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, this glorious evening, although perhaps maybe it's not as warm as yesterday evening, but it's very good, and it's lovely to see you all here. And I may be 10, 15 or more years older than our Father Aidan. I saw him grow up here, and he was not cured here, playing football here as a small boy. I heard the Bishop speak of his career with St. Patrick's College. He was a brilliant footballer, there's no question about it. And he went on ahead, and as the Bishop said too, he was a brilliant student. And I'm sure he is doing the bridge and he is doing Cavan, and he is doing Ireland well, and doing them justice away out in Florida. So that is all I have to say. Only thanks very much. As one of the members of the organising committee, it was a pleasure to work on it, and the money flowed in, and that's all, ladies and gentlemen, and Reverend Fathers and Lordship. If the Lordship has a few words to say, I will hand them the microphone.
I thought I had said everything that I had to say earlier in the church, but I would like to join with the committee in congratulating Father Aidan again on his Silver Jubilee, and particularly on the great achievements that he has reached during those last 25 years. And it's very nice that his classmate Con was here to present it to him. So, God bless him for the next 25.
Now, seeing that the clergy wouldn't let Father Aidan talk in the chapel, we'll have to get him to talk here. So I wanted to give him a big round of applause now, Father Aidan himself.
Thank you all very much, my Lord Bishop, brother priests and friends and relatives of Butlersbridge. Oh, I'm overwhelmed by all this. This is really fantastic, and I don't know that I deserve all this either. But here we are, and I do want to, first of all, to thank everybody connected with this whole celebration here. That liturgy down in the church was just beautiful, and I want to thank the bishop for coming and the priests for concelebrating with us, and for his very wonderful homily, for Father Kelly here too, for helping beginning the organising of all this, and the other priests at the presbytery who worked hard with him to get all this organised. And of course then the committee that was here with Con as the chairman, and all the other persons who were involved in this committee. I thank you all very much too for your part in it. And I want to make a special prayer of thanks for the choir. I think they were fantastic. Weren't they great? They were just great, and I thank them all, and especially the director, Mary McPartland. I thank her very much, because I know that took a lot of practice and a lot of time, and I appreciate it very much. And all of these others here, look at all these that turned out. The boys and girls teams and the band over from Killishandra. Thank you for coming too. And every other person, those stewards, every other person that was involved here in this whole weekend, because this was there were some great happenings here in the playground the past few days, and they were just great. It reminded me. Talk about 25. I haven't seen any activity in this playground for years, and I've been coming home almost every year, and there used to be great activity out here, way back 25 years and many before that, and it was great to see all the activity here again. And I'm glad that I brought some Florida sunshine to brighten up today. I say I really don't know why I deserve all this. Maybe maybe it was because I was such a good boy around Butlersbridge. I never raided anybody's orchard. And I never sneaked by Millie Kelly when someone else was paying the fivepence down at the lake. And I never either stole the ball out of the house. There was only one football, and it belonged to the club, especially the game football. And it was always kept in our house, on top of the dresser. I never stole that ball out behind my back, so we could come up and kick it against this wasn't a nice wall at that time, against the stones up there. See, it was other fellows who did that. It was Con Smith and Ken Brown, and they did all those things. I never did anything wrong at all. And that's why, that's the only reason I can come up with that I deserve all of this. But I'd say there is nowhere in the whole world, if I had to be chosen over again from it, to be born and reared, there is nowhere in the whole world I would rather be than here in Butlersbridge. I do look back on those days of being reared around here, and all the people of the village and the surrounding area, and it was. I look back on it with pride, and I thank God for having had the privilege to grow up here with all the good people and the good rearing that I got here. I think that when I think about it, I think there are four areas that were very, very important. And the first one was the home. And thanks be to God for a good father and mother. May they rest with God in heaven. You know, they there was a lot of theology I learned afterwards, you know, when I went to the seminary in books. And they had taught me a lot of it by example, long before I ever went there. And for good brothers and sisters. And then you see, in the home. And then the community of Butlersbridge was your brothers and sisters too. It was an extension of the home. And as I say, in that community, many, many good friends who have remained good friends throughout the years. And it's one of the main reasons that I have hardly let a summer go by in all those 25 years. Only one, when I was sick, have I let go by, that I didn't come back here. Because I love this community, and I love the bridge, and like to come back here. And all the community had a share in the formation of my character and the character of everybody else around here. And then the school, of course. We really did get a great education in our schools. And, you know, I have traveled and have been involved in education, and I must say you are lucky here to have a really good school system. Coolbey National School, and then up in St. Pat's. And I'm grateful to all the priests and the teachers that were involved with all that. And then again, and the fourth thing, the church. So I was baptized in the church and said my first mass here anyway in the church, and got First Holy Communion. Did go into the cathedral to get confirmation, but the church too, and the values that come out of our faith in God through the church. And I am very, very grateful and thankful to all the priests through the years who were at the cathedral, and I'm glad to see Father Gargan here and Father McGrath here. Where and of course the present men now too. They've always been a big welcome for me in there. I've always felt at home when I come home in there too, and always felt a big welcome, and I thank you for that too. And I think that's part of today as well. So, you know, all of those things, you know, all add up, I hope, you know, to character and to a real solid faith and trust in God. And of course, my final thanks and comment has to be a thanks to God. A thanks to God for having given me a vocation to the priesthood. Given me all that I mentioned already, and then a vocation to the priesthood on top of it. And I am grateful, and thankful for that. And then, grateful to God for whatever abilities and whatever talents, whatever they may be, to respond to that call. I am very happy after 25 years that I did respond to that call. And I pray with the bishop too, that more young men would respond to this call to the priesthood. It has been a very, very happy life. It has had its ups and its downs. I've had some crosses along the way, but it has been in all a very happy life, and I am very happy that that God gave me the grace to respond, and has given me whatever talents I have. Again, despite the faults and the failings that I have too, to do the best that I can with me, to serve God and to serve God's people. And I am glad too that some of the parishioners from Our Lady Queen of Peace Church at Newport Ritchie, where I serve now, I'm glad they're here and that they've come with me. And I hope that I can serve them many years in the future, and that I can come home here to the bridge for many, many more years. Thank you all very much, and God bless you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to let Father Aidan and his priestly friends go for a meal, and then there's tea and sandwiches for every one of you after that. Now, I see another great classmate of mine here, Michael Brady, known to you as Brother Clement, home from the States. I'd like you to give him a big round of applause now. My father, Brother Clement. Now, after the meal, during the meal, there'll be music in the hall. There's 3 different groups playing tonight, so there's plenty of entertainment for you. We're starting in about 10 minutes' time, and plenty of entertainment. Now, on behalf of the committee, the organising committee of the function, I wish to thank you all very, very sincerely for coming along. And please God, before Father Aidan goes back to the States, we'll have the Ulster title back with us in Cavan. So that too is good. And thank each and every one of you for your subscription towards the lovely gifts for Father Aidan. Thank you very much indeed. Good night to you.
So McGrath, who was the parish priest from neighbouring Castletara. Actually, through 1866, Butlersbridge was part of the Castletara parish.
That's true.
But tell us, Father, how you remember Father Aidan as a young man.
Well, the first thing I remember him in his own home, his father and mother, and I remember him as shy, retiring, and interested in local things, notably in the football team. And I remember he was deeply affected by his mother's death. Yes. I attended her last dinners.
You were a curate in the parish.
I was, and the following summer, she died in February, I think. The following summer, he had done his leaving cert. I remember asking him about the church.
Right.
And I noticed that he was a definite sort of good material for the priesthood. So, making some inquiries in the college, and I put him in contact with a friend of mine in Cairns of Penny. And Father Aidan always told me that he regarded my intervention at that time as a sort of critical thing in the formation of vocation. And then I remember him as a quiet student, and playing football and socialising as he came home, but definitely sort of ecclesiastical bent. And I was privileged then to do my very first supply in the States. I did it for him in Clearwater, St. Cecilia's in Clearwater. I afterwards visited him with holidays many times, and I also did a number of supplies for him. I found him a great host, kind, generous, and gentleman all the time.
Man of God.
That's right, that's right.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Yes. You grew up and stayed in the local stadium here, didn't you? But
No, we fought it.
tell us about the Precious and Butlersbridge. Do you remember those games?
Yes, they were good.
Yeah. You were what? Were you playing alongside him, or where were you playing? He was a half back.
He was a half back. I used to play around the midfield. Calling myself around the middle of the field.
Calling yourself, right. And that's good. Well,
my memory of Father Aidan
yes,
was the day I went
serious.
to be serious.
You went to Kieran's.
I went down to Kieran's to bring a load of them home in a minibus.
Yes. You drove the whole bridge of people down that.
No, to bring a load of them all home.
Oh yes,
Bring them home on holidays.
Oh, I see, right.
And there was that many of them crowding out from around Cornafin and all over. Father Aidan will probably remember this.
Right.
Every wee hill we came to coming home, we used to have to let some of them out to get up the hill. The load was that heavy.
The load was that big. It wasn't an Opel they were driving.
No, it wasn't an Opel, no. It was a Volkswagen minibus.
But didn't you go down to his ordination then, or?
I didn't get to his ordination.
Yes. Oh, it was Kevin Smith.
Kevin.
That's right. There was a load going
Vincent
down that time. That's right. Young Vincent.
Young Vincent.
That's right.
Good memories of that too to have. That good memories. I can tell you a few good
wasn't
things
there a
about
hoolie
that.
in the hall? Tell us about the hall. Wasn't there a hoolie afterwards in the hall?
There was a hoolie afterwards after the mass, you know.
Yes. Very good, Paddy. Thank you. All right. Good. Will you tell us about going down to the ordination? You went down at that, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Pardon? Yeah. And what was it like? Pardon? No, it's not on. It's not on. Never mind him. Not at all. Okay, Vera, we'll be over to you in a minute.
It was great. A great experience.
When did you leave? Did you go down in the morning or evening time or when?
It took us 2 days to go down.
2 days? How long did it take you to come? How long did it take you to get back? 3. You did it seriously? And you stay overnight?
Stayed overnight.
And who was with you? Kevin and Terry?
Kevin and Terry and Martin Gaff.
Martin. Did Martin go down? Martin's gone now. We should get him before he goes. Martin was there. Martin was around. But, what did you do?
We went down and into the hotel and big sing song.
The bridge
Done
tradition.
everything that's in the bridge tradition.
That's good.
Full style.
Full style. And then there was a
We
presentation.
met Brother Brady down there.
Hi, Brother Brady, that's right. So he was a brother down there.
Yeah. Mick and Fynes and John. We met the whole gang in the hotel.
That's right.
Stayed out together.
So it was a good weekend.
Great weekend.
Remember, 25 years.
25 years ago, I had photographs in the house.
Have you still got photographs? That's good. And then your father was on the organising committee, God rest him, here in the hall. You remember that?
That's right. And Jerry Farmer.
Jerry Farley, God rest him too. He was there.
Paddy McGowan was on that.
Aye, we must get Paddy McGowan. Very good, Vincent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
As you see some boys away.
Oh Lord, you would even said that this was the last night you see these people and they're up the left and the post and he says to this fella, this fellow was representing the farmer, but he had a pitchfork. He says, I had a pitchfork, he says, didn't do work, he says, for the last year. I says, your man was a bad year, I didn't use it.
Did you enjoy tonight?
Ah, I did, yeah.
Eamon, you tell us, you have the best memory around here for football. You're Power Riley. You tell us about Aidan growing up as a young lad. You and he grew up.
I remember Aidan was a great, he played in Belturbet at the Belturbet Fish. And Michael McGerty got a nasty knock and Aidan was back centre half to take his place. And that was
pretty good.
That was a turning point on the Butlersbridge victory that day.
This was at a fish in Belturbet.
Yeah.
There were some great games down there.
Oh yes, I have many great memories, and particularly in that playground there too.
That's right.
Which I often was associated. I'm looking for come here. I spill that. Come here.
Kelly, the present administrator in Cavan Parish, Aidan's parish. Well, Father, your thoughts at this moment in time, as to say?
Well, my thoughts, there are a few thoughts particularly. One of the main thought is, how Butlersbridge has shaped Aidan through its community, its neighbourliness, its friendliness, its willingness to help. And I remember Aidan as a student in St. Pat's. I remember his football ability. I remember him also as coming in many a morning on the bicycle in the rain, around like a rat.
6 days a week too.
6 days a week, and the Bartys of course, and Terry Smith.
All intellectuals from Butlersbridge.
That's right, but always ready to have the crack and the fun and bring humour, and especially to annoy Terry McManus. Oh yeah, Terry used to mean it. It upset Terry very much. But the one thing I'd like to say really is that it's marvellous to see parishioners here as well. You know, there's a hands across the sea. You know, they came, I mean, to pay their own sort of personal tribute on behalf of the parishioners here, and we appreciate that very much as well.
The effort they made to come here.
Yeah, they made, you know, and enjoying themselves, and even the lady that was mugged and lost her glasses in Dublin, she's here tonight, I mean, and the only thing was she couldn't read.
She'd have better memories.
She will, yeah, tonight, I mean, of the spirit of the place and so on. You know? And how are you, Raymond? Are you all right?
Father, I'm fine.
Yeah, and you're enjoying it too.
Yes.
And he's saying to Smith, Kevin.
Kevin's on the way, I think. It took him 2 days to go to the ordination, so it'll probably take him 2 days to...
Yeah, because I think it's important, I mean, that Smith should be here already. That's what we head without him, you know? Okay.
Okay, Father Fenham. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. Wasn't it great that the rain didn't come, lads?
Do you thank you for bringing home the good weather, do you?
Oh, yes. True enough. It was wonderful success.
It was good. Oh, it was great.
But I love the lovely staircase you had on the way up to the platform.
Yes, it was real.
Touch class with that, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, the Lord turned water into wine. I turned the beer
upside down
into a staircase.
Yeah. Is Kevin coming down?
He is.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Is he around there?
Is he talking to mother, is he?
Yeah, possibly.
I'll go on,
See you, Kevin. Okay. Stuart, how are you doing? Mrs. Wilson, how are you? Good to see you. That's right. Mrs. Wilson, how do you remember Mr. Dawson?
Same age as my lad.
Is he? Was
15
Eugene?
years of age.
I see. And the two of them went to school together, didn't
Yes.
they? Good. And tell us about his ordination. Do you remember his first mass? And
Oh, I do, yes.
Right.
Of course, Eugene Martin.
Wasn't around at the time.
Remember? Well, he was, but he wasn't. I don't know if he was that easy. I couldn't tell you. No, I couldn't. I just can't remember.
Do you remember Mr. Dawson growing up and down the street fishing and all this with John and all?
I do, yes.
That's good. Thank you.
Well, he's 50.
Pardon?
He's 50.
50.
Yes.
You mightn't like people to know his age.
Oh, well, I'm telling to
You'll
him.
tell it to him, will you? Good. Okay. Rose, how do you remember? You do. Remember going to the well over there at Downs?
You remember the day he went away, do you?
You remember the day he went away, do you?
Yeah,
In 1960. What year was that?
Yeah, I was in Downs at the time.
You were in Downs at the time. And you remember him?
I do.
Yeah, good. And you remember the hoolie in the hall that was here?
I remember.
Tell us about that night. Was the meet inside the hall or where was it? I think there was a sit-down meet in the hall, wasn't it? Pardon? Oh, indeed, it's not that bad. Do you remember anything? Pardon? Tell us about it. Who grew up together? Pardon? We grew up together, yeah. That's right. Patsy here.
Patsy, I'm not. And the boy's taking pictures now.
Oh, he's not, no. Never mind him. He's from... Never mind him. Pardon?
I hope you're coming then. That's right,
tell us about 25 years ago. Do you remember that there was...
Not now, but it's not school now. He was a kid at school. My children was a Kinalite.
Right. And you saw them in the field here.
They played with Ken Brown and Patsy Love, great football.
That's right. And, okay. Thanks a lot. Right? Thank you.
How are you? The old maestro himself. How are you? Joe Sherwood.
In the suit.
How are you, man?
How well you
The
spot?
last time I met him was up in Dublin.
At what?
At Hyde Park.
No, a funeral.
Oh, that's right.
Sad occasion. Didn't see him for years.
No, I didn't. Oh, I didn't see you though.
You did see me, and you wouldn't buy me a drink.
Oh,
You're making all the money.
We're turning back the clock 25 years, Kevin. You were at his ordination down in
Kilkenny. Yeah,
Tell us
that's
about
right.
that.
Well, Vincey Bartley, young Vincey as he was at the time.
Yes.
Tommy, would that be right? Terry Smith, that's right. The three of us travelled together.
Yes.
The weather was good.
Yes.
And the crack was good.
Yes.
We picked up 3 young women out near Lucan, I remember.
Is that right?
Didn't tell Father
Who was
about
Bartley was driving or who was
Bartley was well conducted.
Was he? Was he?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know who was driving the car. Must have been Vincey.
Probably
No,
was.
Terry would have been
Terry.
driving. Terry, yeah.
Last stage. We had a marvellous weekend.
Good.
Took us a day to go down and 2 to come home. Yeah.
And you came back here, what happened? What was the scene here?
The scene, I don't know what happened when we came back. I remember though that we had a very good time ourselves.
Right.
Was there supposed to be something that happened when we came back? You got to leave me a bit late. 25 years ago, Raymond. Your mind's going a bit. Who's this good-looking bloke with the camera?
That's Seamus Murphy.
Seamus, how you doing? Yeah. I couldn't get out
Tell
of
us about
Dublin.
Aidan. What anecdotes have you from Aidan growing up?
Well, the one thing that's wrong with Aidan is you can't remember anything bad about him. That's right. The memory I'd have of the Fines is the house, the Fines homestead was a house where it combined, it was a news agency centre, a political centre, it was a sports centre,
an open door,
and a casino. They played Nap and they played Ludo and snakes and ladders, and there was always an open door,
a welcome.
It was a Cayley house, really. It was the only Cayley house that I could say really that I knew in my youth. You know, marvellous. Mrs. Fines, Mick Fines, Aidan's father, he was a tremendous gentleman. One of the things I remember about Mick, old Mick, as we used to call him, he always treated everybody as a grown-up.
Right.
Even when you were young, you remember that about him? Yeah,
yes.
It was marvellous, you know. Meet the man and he'd give you advice, even when he was on his last days. I remember going to see him at home, or the last time I saw him, and he was advising me to do whatever my father guided me. He was always full of wisdom and great man. And I must say he had tremendous patience, because his house on a Sunday morning, at least 7 people would sit down to play a Nap. There'd be a few more tables playing Ludo or something. There'd be a game of something else. They wouldn't leave until about 1:30. The Fines had to have their dinner, and there'd be usually a football match or something on. That was the Helicon days, the Cavan football as well. You know, there was tremendous excitement.
There wasn't much privacy around it.
And when we were growing up, this field here, you wouldn't kick a ball that it could land without 3 people being under it. Oh yeah, the place was absolutely. Talk about tonight. There'd be this crowd in it in the late 50s, or the late 40s and the 50s. This place here was total.
Do you remember the diamond on the Sunday after Mass then?
That's right. That's right.
And the ball went into Benny Tracy's and you wouldn't get it out.
Playing with a Warden House tennis ball.
That's right.
Somebody must have known somebody that was well out, because we used to have tennis balls playing on the street. And that was tremendous accuracy too. You had to hit the ball straight, and if it happened on a roof, you were in trouble, or went across, you were, marvellous.
Tell us about the Feshes then, they were great games.
Well, what I want to tell you about Aidan, you asked me a question there and I went on talking about his family, and of course it's the family that gave him what he had too. You know, the great warmness that Aidan has. You know, his parents, of course, his mother was a tremendous woman, but Aidan himself, we all gravitated as young fellas to him, you know. He'd be at home, we'd be down there in Fines is waiting for him to go out to the Cowboys and Indians, or off to the Montgomery's Ford fishing, or some other down to Rob Joe Kelly's apples, or watch the Ram Kelly's ram perform, and around to see Boylan's. That was our sex education actually, was the bull and the ram.
In the raw.
Yeah, in the raw.
All human life.
Once there was a cow appeared coming up the road, all the young lads headed off for Boylan's gate, hanging in, looking around.
We have to censor this.
And fair play to Matt and the boys, they didn't mind you. It was good. There were no bad books, you see. You had to pick it all up as you went along. It was great to see him home. It's marvellous. Yeah, marvellous. He's a marvellous fellow, Aidan. Tremendous fellow. He's probably the best thing ever happened in the village here, anyway. You know.
And he was a leader then.
He was the best thing that happened to us anyway as young fellas. Oh, man! You was at the field, man.
That's great. Hi, Brian. How are you doing? Yeah. Here, Brian, tell us about this James.
Right, right. There was no schoolboys, it wasn't organised through this area. No. But myself and Ed and Ken, we won a championship with them.